Welcome to this special edition podcast of Behind the Rhymes
The mountain we all climb.
with me, Andrew.
And me, Maya.
Horizon. Hunched shoulders, mournful skies, look to the sea, salted eyes. Not salt from the sea, just the past, bearing down, weighing on me. Looked out from here before, a different man, not happier, but sore. Bruised from a fight I'd lost. My opponent didn't know that he even won. Looked to a better future and dreams made real, yet to come.
What lies behind these rhymes, Andrew?
So this poem came from a photograph that is of me in a place in Wales called Portmeirion, which is a beautiful place. And I was looking out to sea, and all you could see was my back. And I was inspired to write the poem, not just because I'd been to that place many times throughout my life, but also because I was looking out to sea as
So
well.
it's a deeply personal poem for you.
Yes, it's. I have a lot of connections with that place, from the TV series The Prisoner through family holidays there with my kids and previous partner as well. So it was interesting to go back there as a different person some 20 plus years later, to be staring out at the same place out to sea.
Listening to the poem, it's clearly about, at least it looks to me like it's about a relationship that has ended. And in the last verse, you have a few very mm, curious lines that made me think about an opponent who didn't know that they've won. What do you mean by that?
I think when relationships break down, certainly in my experience, unless it's for a mutual reason, there tends to be a bit of opposition, in that if one person decides to end the relationship and the other is not that keen, it becomes like an unofficial boxing match, if you like, there. But sometimes the other person wins and they don't know they've won, and sometimes they don't even know they've been in a fight, if you like. There, it's not like all relationships end in some big argument. Most relationships end in several sort of arguments, or over several years. Sometimes it doesn't just have a dramatic end there.
The ending of that poem is dramatic, but it's also quite optimistic. You're looking forward to the future.
Yeah, I think I've taken criticism on board, some of my poems are a little bit on the pessimistic side. I don't claim to be an optimistic poet. I write what I see, and life's not always cheery and cheerful and full of rainbows. There is this poem actually has a counterpart, um, which is based on another photograph, um, not of me but of you. Would you like to read the companion piece to this poem?
Another horizon. I sit on a wall, the sun and the sea ready to be happy. But the sadness, a black cloud in the blue sky, is over me. Such a beautiful place. Nature's majesty, a passing thought, a half empty cup. I have no one to share this with me. The image frozen, a camera's lens glare, as I try to smile and push on through despair. A damaged heart, an optimistic horizon. Looking at the future to be, I long for, I look for the person to hold and love me. Yes, this is a companion piece which is also inspired by a photograph. It's really interesting how you captured this photograph. Um, It sounds like these two poems are about two separate people who are ready to get on with their lives. Am I right in interpreting?
So you showed me this picture of you, and I'll let you explain where it was. But and the strange thing was, you showed it me, and the time period that was in was almost the exact same time period as I was coming out of my long term relationship and my marriage, actually, as it happened. Um, and I saw the picture, and I thought that I could read the expression on your face from that picture, that it was kind of frozen, as pictures often freeze things, good and bad, um, and I read into your face. Now, I don't know. You've told me that that's not exactly how you were feeling at the time of that picture being taken.
It's certainly your interpretation of the picture. The picture was taken in a place called Perast in Montenegro, which I have very fond memories of, and I actually don't remember feeling um, unhappy there. On the contrary, however, I was single at the time when the picture was taken, and I remember thinking what a lovely place it would be to come with someone you love, because it's visited by a lot of couples from around the world. So you're surrounded a little bit like in Venice with people holding hands, taking photos of themselves. So I may have had a passing thought, which you've captured in your poem. Um, how did these two poems come together?
So I think I'd seen the picture of you, but I hadn't immediately written the poem there. And then you took the picture of me at Port Merion, which you sent to me, and it inspired me to write the first poem. And then I remembered the photograph of you sat on the wall looking out to see, um, a different sort of horizon, if you like. That's why it's horizon, another horizon. So they were there was some time between the thought of them and actually being written, but they were written very closely to one another as companions. It's interesting to tell a story. I mean, obviously, I knew what I was feeling at the time, but I just took a wild guess at what you were feeling at the time.
This is a nice roundup in our special episode, which ends our series one. I'm hoping that we will start working soon on series two, which is related to your book of poems coming out soon. Can you please remind us what is the title of that book and what the series is going to be about?
So it's after the applause, pandemic poetry of a frontline nurse, that will be published via Austin Macaulay at some point during 2021.
Let's read the poems again.
Horizon, hunched shoulders, mournful skies, look to the sea, salted eyes. Not salt from the sea, just the past, bearing down, weighing on me. Looked out from here before, a different man, not happier but sore. Bruised from a fight I'd lost, my opponent didn't even know they'd won. Looked to a better future, and dreams made real, yet to come.
Another horizon. I sit on a wall, the sun and the sea ready to be happy. But the sadness, a black cloud in the sky, is over me. Such a beautiful place, nature's majesty, a passing thought, a half empty cup. I have no one to share this with me. The image frozen, a camera's lens glare, as I try to smile and push on through despair. A damaged heart, an optimistic horizon, looking at a future to be. I long for, I look for the right person to hold and love me.
You have been listening to the special edition of Behind the Rhymes, The Mountain We'll Climb, with me, Andrew.
And me, Maya. Thank you for listening to Series 1. To listen to Series 2, follow us or subscribe
On Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts.
Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.